Hello and welcome to The Stinger. If this is your first time listening to The Stinger, happy to have you here. This is a fandom entertainment podcast where we talk about lots of different fandoms. Today, we just so happen to be dipping our toes into the waters of Survivor. But normally, you can catch us talking the latest in Marvel, Star Wars, and in DC, doing draft episodes, doing rewatch episodes, and covering the latest in many of those types of franchises. Um, if you're a frequent listener of the Stinger, we're happy to have you here today. This is a little bit different for us, but I am super excited because the 50th season of Survivor is out. It aired last night. I've been watching Survivor for a little while now, and I'm a huge fan and wanted to, give an episode to give this great show some light. And joining me to do that today, a familiar face to some of you who've been listening for a while. He's not here to make friends. Mr. Zachary Goolsby. How you doing, Zach?
I was gonna make a Survivor joke, but I'm so ready. I feel so pumped to be here, dude.
What are you wearing? What are you wearing today?
Oh, dude, thank you for asking. It's not limited edition, but it is the Survivor hat worn by himself, Jeff Probst. Not this particular hat, but it is the reason why I got this. If I can do a
Go
quick
for it.
story,
Yeah.
is for your birthday one year. We had a dress up of people of the year, and to me, and he's kind of like the person of the year every year in my opinion. And there's only one person I have too, so I got to have a costume of Jeff Probst, and it came with this beautiful hat, and I think it fits your occasion. I can say the same for you. I love your
Right. That's right.
I forget what they're called.
The buffs.
Buffs. I love your buff, dude.
Love my buff. Thank you. I had to pull out the buff. Shout out to my good friends James and Joel, who a few years ago put on a Survivor party where many friends showed up and we played a mini game of Survivor in their backyard, doing challenges in the kiddie pool and stuff like that. It was incredible.
Did you win?
No, absolutely not. No one really won, but a few people got voted out, so that was fun.
Did you get voted out?
No. I survived.
Okay.
I held my own in tribal.
You're a good talker.
Yeah.
You're a good talker.
Yeah. I voted with the majority. I feel good. No one wrote my name down. So
What about Haley?
no one wrote her name down too. I think we did good. We were a good, power couple in the game.
That's why you're married.
That's right. Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. So, if you're new to the Survivor world, we hope you enjoyed this episode today. And this is actually a perfect time for you to jump on the bandwagon. It's the 50th season. This is a very big celebratory moment for the franchise because, as we saw in last night's episode, they're going to do a lot of rewinds throughout the season, showing us some of the biggest moments in Survivor history. And honestly, that's the reason we're doing this episode today, is because this felt like such a big moment for the franchise of Survivor. Even though we've never talked about it here, I just felt like I had to because I love this show so much, and this is such a big moment. I came to Survivor at COVID times. I never watched the show before, and so I can remember, being in lockdown, being in quarantine. Not a lot of new stuff was coming out, and your sister, my wife Haley, you guys grew up watching Survivor every week, right? It was a family tradition, right?
Yeah, so fun fact, I was the year that the first season of Survivor came out was when I was born.
That's right.
And so
that's right. You are as old as Survivor.
Oh, it's honestly based after me. Yeah. So that was one of our, if not our big family show, and that was also a big punishment. If I did something that was we didn't get grounders of, oh no, you can't watch Survivor tonight.
Wow, I didn't know that piece of it. Dang, that's tough.
It's rough. And so, we looked forward to every Thursday night because, growing up, it was on Thursdays and it got moved to Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
But, I have seen every old season. What I mean by
Yeah.
old is everything 40 in before. And
Oh,
so,
okay. So you
yeah,
were watching like through high school and stuff.
yeah, I watched a
Okay.
lot of it. I think
Yeah.
I slowed down once I got in college,
Yeah.
but I kept up with like a lot of the stuff going on, and like there are. It's just like it truly is just such a. It's crazy that like that hasn't had like even though it was like 2000s 25 years ago, but like I'm shocked that that wasn't like done earlier. Like this was like the
Yeah.
first thing of it because it's just such a like, what if we put a bunch of strangers on an island?
Yeah.
They fight, they like do challenges, and then they vote each other off. It's like a very simple thing, but then it's like talks about it's like goes into like human nature and like backstabbing. I'm like, it's just such a good show. So go back to your original question. Like, we would watch it every night, and we would like make like bet on who we think is gonna win, and then sometimes our favorite episodes were like the the live reunion. Like that's where you saw like some of the
Yeah. Oh yeah.
drama and stuff,
Oh yeah. For
but
sure.
like it's just no, it's a really great show. And it's still like it's been through so many different phases, but like yeah, I just really like it, enjoy it.
It's great. I caught on to it during COVID, so I watched. I have not. I'm not a Survivor historian like many people are, like you are. I know of the lore, so to speak, but
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't there to watch it all. I've seen some of the old seasons. I've seen like Heroes and Villains. I've seen Game
Sure.
Changers. I've seen David vs Goliath,
Mm-hmm.
and a few others, like some of the big ones. But like I've watched every episode of the new era, and so
Mm-hmm.
I come on and like I feel like I am the um kind of I have the opposite
Mm-hmm.
perspective of most Survivor fans, where like the new era being seasons 40 to now,
Mm-hmm.
post COVID, seems to be the least favorite era generally of the Survivor fandom.
Yeah.
But like that's how I've come to know the show, and really love the gameplay and
Mm-hmm.
um the aspects of the new era. I don't love all of it, especially now that I've seen some of the older seasons. But like
Mm-hmm.
that's how I fell in love with the show. So it's kind of interesting
Mm-hmm.
coming into this being like attached to these new era players when there were so many. I'll shout out the Dumpling making an appearance on the camera.
Huge
Dumpling,
Survivor fan.
yeah, huge Survivor fan. She's got a lot of thoughts,
Never
but
got voted out, too many idol.
um, but this season combines a lot of all areas of Survivor. The cast goes all the way back to the first season of Survivor. Uh, Jenna, who was on the first season of Survivor, all the way to the winner of the most recent season in Savannah. Um, I'm curious for you, Zachary. Like when you saw the cast originally announced, like who were you most excited to see here?
Yeah, like I was, and like so. Before I answer, of like I've seen two newer seasons. I've seen 46 and I've
Uh huh.
seen 48, and so
Yep.
those are the ones
Those
I've
are probably
seen.
the two best seasons, honestly, of the new
I
era.
like, we're gonna get into Q in a second, um, but I was really looking forward. I was really excited to see like Jenna, who was from the
From the first season.
very first season.
You were, by the way, you already told us you were an infant when that came out, so you were just really excited. Brought back some memories for you there.
Like wow, it's like dude, whoa, like you first season Survivor,
I thought I
first year
recognized that
living.
voice.
Yeah, dude, wait, is that the Jenna? No, like I think it's cool seeing like I think for me it's seeing like the older players, and I think she's one of the few who like this is her first time coming back, if I'm not mistaken. First time coming back, first
She's
returning
been in
season.
two seasons before this. She was a season 8 as well.
Stupid.
Now that's strike
No.
one. Let's see if you can get through the rest of the episode.
He's about me out. I'm not ready. So I think I'm just looking for the people that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I
Yep.
think like I am excited to see like some of the newer people. Like I've seen a lot of snippets of like the older seasons or sorry,
Yep.
the newer
The new
seasons.
era seasons.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
seeing
Yep.
D. of who is
Yep.
considered the most dominant or like the best winner of the new era.
Right.
Seeing the Riz God,
Risk
Savannah,
God. RIZGOD.
and there was like some people like that I was excited to see. Like again, I think I made this. This is that I like to root for two types of people on
Yep.
reality shows, either huge underdogs or I
Yep.
go hard on the villains.
Yep.
And so I love like the coaches of the world. I
Yep.
love the I love Q.
Yep.
I
Yep.
love all the villains, but then I love the
James
little.
Harden.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Survivor. So he's a hero, by the way. Okay, you can cut that out if you want, but you're not going to. So like I think I was excited to see the cast. I don't know if you're gonna ask of like some disappointment casting because I have a couple, but I did. I think like I like to see. I think a lot of the new players I liked. Like
Yep.
there, I think Carolyn was a snub for sure,
Big snub. Big
which
snub.
is crazy that she didn't make it.
Yep.
Like Jam Jam was also a big snub, but I do like majority of the new players that they do because like all the new players, I think there's one new player that I'm not familiar with. Um, I forget what season she was on. Not Genevieve. She's the only one from her
Emily?
season. Might be Emily. That's the only one I wasn't like familiar with, but everyone else.
Yep.
Like
I
I'm
got you.
excited. I don't think I have like I love like Ozzy and all of them and Cirie. So
Yeah.
like I think I'm excited to see
You're
everyone.
open. You're not you don't
I'm
have
open. Yeah, yeah,
a
I'm not
true
closed
like
on
horse in
anyone.
the race. Yeah.
There's some people I
Yeah.
wish would have made it,
Yeah.
but I was gonna say like with all the characters, this brings us to like a fun fact is that this is the this is the season that has the most castaways of all like seasons. So
Yeah.
sorry, of
That's right.
all series. It has 24
Yep.
people. That's crazy.
It's a huge number. Cause what?
It's a
Because
huge number.
the new era has been 18.
So the New Year's been
And
18. There's
before
like
that, it might have been more, but it was still wasn't 24 people.
so the most a season has, and it's happened a couple times where it's been 20, but
Yep.
usually it's around the 16, 18, or
Yep.
20 range. But
Yep.
even just four more is crazy, especially just like
And the condensed format too. This isn't 39
mhm,
days. This is still the,
20,
26, 27 days. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's a lot.
I
Like,
hate myself.
um, yeah, so I like to the point of like I think there's a lot of good casting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's a little like thing for everyone. You have your oldies, you have your like you have like the big guys of the older era who are like the big stars of the Colbys, the Ozzies, the
Yep.
Ciries, and then you have the new people who are like the underdogs of like the Christians. Um, oh shoot, what's his name? White Lotus guy, Mike.
Mike White.
So
Mike White.
Mike White, um, Genevieve, all these people, and then you have like some of the other like underrated players, but like they're like a really good players, like an Aubrey or sorry,
Yeah.
Audrey, Aud
Aubrey. You had it right. Yeah.
Aubrey, like the Aubreys, even like Tiffany. I think she's very
Yeah.
underrated,
Yeah, she
and so
is. I agree.
well, what would you what are your like because I know you said that like you're more of like the newer era type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So what was it shocking to like who were you like shocked by to see, I guess?
I was shocked to see two winners in the new era, both Kyle and
Three.
D.
There's three. All three
Not
went so it's yeah, it's three. It's
Oh,
Kyle,
Savannah,
Savannah.
Savannah. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Um yeah, so I was shocked to see so many winners from the new era when they
Mhm.
just won, D won 3 years ago, maybe. Like
Mhm.
it has not been that long since they won $1 million. So
Mhm.
I think I was surprised to see that, especially when, in my opinion, there are new era people that I would have liked to see more who haven't won, who got really
Mhm.
far in the game and really defined their seasons, like a Carolyn, like a Jesse.
I was gonna say
Um,
Jesse, yeah.
but I was really happy to see people like Q because he's so entertaining.
Oh my
Genevieve,
gosh.
I can't wait to talk about Genevieve.
Mhm.
I feel I'm very excited to talk about her. But yeah, Camilla's another one who I felt like
Oh, I forgot about Camilla, yeah.
totally deserved a second shot.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think. honestly, let's getting into the episode itself.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like there are some nits to pick here,
Well,
but
let's pick them.
I also felt like they allowed enough of this. It's a strange cast. They didn't necessarily try to um pick that strategically. It felt like it kind of felt like a random assortment of people throughout
Hmm.
Survivor history, in my opinion. But I
Hmm.
think it actually worked in the way they paired people off into different tribes.
Yeah.
I think it works. What were your general impressions of this first episode?
So I think the first episode was pretty good. I have a super little fun fact that ties
Yeah,
into it of like is that when the producers were picking the show or people for the show,
yeah.
each person got like a like a must have. Like they
Oh, interesting.
each producer had like a person they really really wanted and like could override anyone else's opinion. Like I
Hmm.
know I think Q was Jeff's if I'm not
Ah,
mistaken.
yep.
And then there's I think Rick Devens was someone else's. Um
Oh, interesting.
but to tie it on in about like the tries, I think overall I think this is a good episode to start off like a 50th season.
Yeah,
Now, 3 hours, first looking at very daunting, like
yeah.
super duper long.
So
But
long.
in the grand scheme of things, I'm glad they did make it 3 hours because there's once it what like we already said it, there's 24 people, and so there needs to be enough screen time to just get all those intros in. But like
It's been over a decade for some of these
yeah,
people in terms of how
100%.
long it's been since they've been on Survivor. So yeah, I completely agree with you there.
Like especially like going back to like the team, I think the tribes were actually like pretty well balanced. And
Yeah.
I think every team has a winner, which is great. I think
Yep.
every team has like a like very like there's a lot of like connections but then not connections. And I think there's one team that has a lot of newer play like old like
Yes.
new school players
New area. Yep.
and then there's a team that has like a lot of the old school players. But I think the dynamics was really good. And we'll get into more details, but I think
Yeah.
overall it was pretty good.
I thought
Um
so too. To me, what it felt like was it felt like an Avengers movie.
oh yeah.
I I j- and I think for the first episode, that's okay because like
Mhm.
like we said, it's been a long time since a lot of these people have been on
Yeah.
screen for Survivor, and so you have to give extra time for people to catch up, to have
Mhm.
conversations that they haven't had, to make new connections with people that they
Yeah.
have only seen on TV. And it was fun. Like it was honestly really fun to just watch
Mhm.
Ozzy and Cirie kind of like form their bond. It was
Mhm.
really nice to see some of the random uh alliances that seem to be being made cross generations.
Mhm.
And I just think we needed all that time in this first episode to get those relationships cooking. I will say the this is so Survivor is the one show across reality television that you can, I think, feel the least amount of producer involvement. You look at a show like The Bachelor, or even as much as I love it, even Traders a little bit. Like,
Oh,
uh,
100%.
there's definitely, I think with each of those shows, you can tell where producers are maybe manipulating things behind the scenes. Survivor's never been that way to me. It's like you just get the people on the island and then you let them go. Now that's not necessarily true, but they don't. It's not as noticeable to the naked
Yeah.
eye. My nitpick for this episode
Mhm.
is when they send Coach and Ozzy and Q off to Exile Island to duke it out. That felt like the most staged event that I've ever seen in Survivor. I don't know about you, Zachary, but that it felt so staged to me.
I don't know if it was staged, but I wouldn't say here's what I say. I won't lie that I think it was definitely a big production
Yeah,
of like I think they knew to like make it like to make it entertaining. What if we get uh one of the most iconic players of all time in Ozzy?
yeah,
We bring out one of the most, if not the best character ever on Survivor, in my opinion, in Coach.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then you bring arguably the new
Hmm.
coach of
Right.
the new era Q. And so I don't, in my personal thing, I can see what you're saying of like the producer. I definitely think it was more stage,
Yeah.
but I didn't think it was. I think there was like, if they did stage, bravo, because they brought some drama. They brought like, in a
They,
sense of like,
no, go ahead. Sorry.
no, you're good. Like I think like part of it was maybe needed to have some like old rivalry, and you throw Q, who's just happy to be there, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I don't know. That wasn't my personal nitpick, but I can see why. Like it did feel. I just knowing the new Survivor. I think any of these like, send one person. Those always seem staged to me, like a
Yeah.
little like fake.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't think I see it like super like producer heavy as you're saying. But I can see why. I
It
can see
just
why.
felt, I mean, the Ozzy versus Coach thing just felt like a thread that they wanted to pull the entire episode. Um they wanted to set, it felt like them setting up drama that honestly
Mm-hmm.
like would have happened on its own. If you wanted to like stage an Ozzy and Coach showdown, like I'd be fine with you just doing that. But
Mm-hmm.
like don't, I don't know, don't make these guys, because then it wasn't even like entertaining. They just like
Yeah.
grabbed some floppy sticks and
Yeah.
aimed it at a ring. It wasn't even an interesting challenge. Like
Well,
they,
I mean, well,
Ozzy like threw out his back trying to get this ring. I mean,
well, here's
like
the
like
it's
like I know they're old, but we could have done something different.
well, I think there. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah,
My
yeah,
thing, this challenge was made for Ozzy to win because it had the pole
right,
challenge,
right,
which he's known for. The
yeah,
swimming, he's arguably the best swimmer
yeah.
in Survivor
In
history. And
Survivor,
then that
yeah, yeah,
challenge, he's won all three of those type of challenges before.
yeah.
And then you're right. I think he's still in, for how old he is. He's still in pretty good shape.
He is,
Um,
yeah,
but like it didn't need to be that long.
yeah.
It
I agree.
didn't need to
Yeah,
be that. It
it
didn't
was,
need to be that long. And then you're right. It did feel a little forced, but I also feel like that was bound to happen between those two, especially with like
yeah.
just
Oh, for sure.
especially with, and we'll get into later, of Ozzy kind of being like a lot of edits in this
Yeah,
episode,
he did.
and I think just, I don't know. I think they're really trying to either push something together or foreshadowing what's something going to happen in the future.
I I'm interested to hear what you think about that. What nitpick did you have?
So I think the editing wise of it
Yeah.
all, this might be like more of like a background thing, but like
Yeah.
it, I think it just brings up like there's too many cooks in the kitchen at times, so you're trying to get
Interesting.
everyone's story,
Yeah.
but like there's some people that I forgot that were there, like Charlie, who was the
Yeah.
runner up on a
True.
season, I think was like maybe in one scene, and he had a couple confessionals, but it was kind of in the background, and like that's
Mhm.
gonna happen every like returning season. There's gonna be really big things, but then I think it was just, I think, not that like you're not supposed to have like people like that are like the like main characters of that particular episode. That happens every Survivor. But like
Right.
you have this amount of people, you have these amount of characters, and then in my personal opinion, they only like focused on like maybe three, and then
Yeah.
like guess that's gonna happen. But I wish they just did a little more sharing with it. And I know they tried their best. I'm not saying they didn't,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah, and I think this might be just a me thing. Is the other nitpick? I think there's too many advantages and idols in the first episode. I think there's too many
I
to be
agree.
given.
Yep.
Whether you can like, there's four. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's
I completely agree. This is probably one of mine too. I I was surprised that it seems like, and this kind of leads to my next question, but it
mm,
seems like they are keeping the new era format. I was interested to know, if you bring a bunch of old school players back, would there be any um compromise in terms of, obviously they're not changing the length of days, they're
yeah.
not changing the amount of tribes that we start out with, but would they maybe do away with the journeys or some of the advantages that got
mm,
introduced in the new era, and they haven't. And
yeah.
what's interesting, they have they said it about 8,000 times, but it's a Survivor in the hands of the fans, and we want you fans to decide how we play this game. But they gave the fans just a bunch of multiple choices that we didn't really want.
No, it's like
Is what it seems like.
it's no. What they did is like you're gonna change the game of the show. Nothing is gonna be the same. You get to choose what color the tribes are.
Right,
You get to
right.
choose what size the idols are gonna be. Like
Yep,
that's what it
yep,
is. Like
yep.
so, I do like I think they're trying. I think they're in their. I think I've seen a lot like everywhere. Like they're in their budget era, right? So like
Oh yeah, for sure.
they've been in Fiji since like before the 40, I think like
Yeah.
six to mid 30s
Yep,
of
yep.
seasons or whatever. But like they're just trying everything to do when it comes to saving money. I'm not saying the show went down. It's a different show than it was 25 years ago.
It is.
Not I think the same like skeleton is there, but like the different like details and stuff is a little different. And so I think like when it comes to about like the old school players, I think they're always going to have a disadvantage if they play in like the new
I
era.
I agree.
I mean, that's going to be our talk when we get into like more of like the spoiler stuff.
Yeah.
But I think like I think I wish they changed was is maybe just for a little bit either you can keep the advantage, like keep the new advantages and stuff like that, but like lessen the amount that there are. I don't
I
think there should
yeah.
be like 10 or like if you want to do like a block a vote, make there only be one of those. If
One.
you
Yeah.
like if there's hidden immunity idols, make them only be two. So you maybe only have like maybe five, like two idols and maybe five, like three advantages throughout the whole season, rather
Yep.
than like we got four in the first
In the first
episode.
the
That's
episode.
crazy.
I
I
know.
also think I'm glad. I also don't. I get why it's like we're finding out in real time if like who voted for like what the America voted for.
Yeah.
But like once again,
Which is cool, but
it's cool.
they should have put more stakes on what we were actually voting on. Because I agree. Like I think it dilutes the importance of these advantages
Hmm.
when there are 20 20 of them out there. Like
Hmm.
I agree with you. There's too many too quickly. I don't even think that the issue is the advantages themselves. I think they're actually pretty smart. Like
Yeah.
we the spoiler alert. We'll just open the bag on spoilers now. Like
Okay.
if you don't want to be spoiled, no, you turn this
Yeah.
off and go back and listen. But
Yeah. What are you
I
doing with
actually
your life?
think as silly as it is, the Billie Eilish boomerang idol, I think is a great concept. Like
Mhm.
I think it's a great concept, and I think it's getting it's probably gonna get a lot of hate because it's got the pop star name attached to it, and it seems like it's a little gimmicky, which it is. But the
Mhm.
concept of it is really cool. If you didn't have three other advantages this episode and that was the only one,
Yeah.
it would feel great.
So I was gonna comment on that. Like I going into this and saw like the preview of the what the series is gonna be of like like there's gonna be surprises. You see Mr. Beast, you see
Mr.
the
Beast
Jimmy
is
Fallon,
coming.
you
Yep.
see which I'm so pumped about, and you see like the Billie Eilish idol. And I think I told like some people like I'm not excited about that,
Right.
but the way that they handled it, I appreciate it because it
Yeah.
was just a simple letter. They're like hands to the fans, Billie Eilish, great wherever you are, love Survivor apparently, and
Apparently big fan.
apparently, but I do love how it was a simple like note. I think it was a really cool like thing of like uh Genevieve who
Yep.
Genevieve who found it,
Yep.
uh where the concept of like you have to give it to another player, but if they get voted out, you get it right back. It becomes just a
Yeah.
regular media. I'm like, that's it. I never thought of that. That's a
It's a
pretty
cool
cool concept.
concept.
We
Yeah.
just had to put a celebrity on it. Like I get that, but I do like I don't know how the other Avengers are going to be with the other celebrities, but
Yeah.
if this is how they're going to do it, I like you said, it's going to be gimmicky
Yeah.
regardless of what it is. But
Yeah.
I think this is like the most watered down it can be, which I
Yeah. I
appreciate.
think so too. I think so
Mhm.
too. What let's talk about the actual gameplay
Yeah.
that happened here. So, um we just talked about, one of the bigger moves in the end of the episode. Um but before we get to that, we have a long period of this. I mean, almost 2 hours of the episode before someone gets voted out. Right,
Mhm.
like there's a lot that happens that isn't necessarily gameplay
Mhm.
related in that first chunk of time. Like before we get to the first challenge,
Yeah.
some bonds are formed, some alliances are built. What stood out to you? Like who? You're a big alliance guy. I
I
will say
am.
this about Zachary: if
I
you've
do love
ever played a
alliances.
board game with him, he will try to strike alliances at the table.
And no one wants
Um,
to join me. I'm like, come on. Like, it's so frustrating. It's like, I just want to be a guy. I'm a loyal guy.
you want to be a teammate, you know?
I'm a
Um,
loyal guy to people who are loyal to me. Like, can we just cut the, look, I just wanted someone join me. Someone join my alliance, man. Well, we'll
yeah.
go to the
So
coconut tree.
what alliances did you like?
Yeah. So the first one, I don't think this is alliance, but more of like you get the grumpy old man that is Colby now,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
was like, these Gen Zers,
This
basically,
Rizzo
like,
guy.
it's just
Oh,
like, oh, I don't like him, but then it's like they had this very sweet moment. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
that's really
I know
nice.
that was.
So
I really enjoyed that too.
I
Yeah,
think I one of my favorites was just Cirie and Ozzy them
yeah,
being on the
yeah.
C team, and this is the first time that they're actually like working together, which is
Yep,
good. And
yep.
so I really appreciate that. I really
I
like
like
them
that
working
too.
together. I liked uh is it the same tribe? I think I have my favorite tribe. I like Jenna like was trying her best to like mingle with like the new
Yeah,
players and stuff like that. I did like I was a huge fan of Kyle, and we'll get to more about him
yeah,
later. But
yep,
I love like he like I think he showed that he could play without Camilla, and
yeah. He
he
did.
was only it was only like day three he was already into like everyone was telling him everything. I really liked I I love okay correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
Genevieve and Aubrey on the same team, right?
Yep, yep.
I am really hopeful that that's going to be a long term thing and not like a short term because I'm
Them
really
working together or them
interested
working against each other?
against each other. I know you said
Yeah,
working
yeah,
together,
yeah,
but like
yeah,
I just that dynamic. I don't know anything
yeah.
about Genevieve, and I know you do, and I'm excited to
So
hear about her.
Genevieve, this is. I'm so glad you brought her up.
Yeah,
She might be like my favorite character after the end of this first episode.
yeah,
I loved her. She was season 47, which
okay.
Rachel won. Um,
Mm.
I know you have thoughts on Rachel.
Mhm.
Uh, but she came in fifth of her season,
Mhm.
came into the game with the mindset of I'm not going to form relationships, or at least the relationships I form are purely going to be strategic. I'm not going to like try to form like deep bonds with people
Oh, I love
because
her.
I don't want to get personally attached to the, people
I
I'm
love
making these
that. That's
strategic
awesome.
decisions to. Then she
Mhm.
got to the end and realized, "Oh no, none of these people are going to want to vote me because like I didn't form
Oh.
relationships with them."
Mm.
Um and she pulled off a really really great blindside with a few others, Operation
Mhm.
Italy.
I heard about
And
that.
yeah, yeah, so she was
Mhm.
she was part of that move. um Her coming into this season, I feel like I can already see where she's learning from the mistakes she made in season 47. And I just really I so spoilers, Kyle goes home at the end of this episode.
Ugh,
RIP, we'll talk
sucks.
about it later.
Sucks.
It's a big bummer for Genevieve because I felt like her and Kyle working
Yeah.
together would have been
Oh my
a
gosh.
very special duo. But I
100%.
but I also think the other relationship she's formed on that tribe with Kobe and with Stephanie
Mhm. Yeah.
and Q a little bit too.
Yeah.
I think that group right there has some real power in this game. I just Kobe, I gotta say, I was impressed with Kobe's gameplay as well. As an
Yeah.
old school guy who's not doesn't seem to be coming in here playing an old school game.
So I want to jump right onto that of like
Yeah, yeah.
knowing Colby a lot. Like Colby was on the second season Survivor.
Yep.
He came in second. He was like the early season golden boy basically.
Yep.
And then like on his like the most recent season he was on Heroes vs Villains, he was absolutely dog water.
He was
He sucked.
terrible. I
He was
watched that
awful.
season, bruh. Like you talk
He
about like
sucked.
it was like Kobe in his
Yeah,
last season.
he
Like it
sucked.
was it
But
was bad.
now, and this is the first season he's never had Jerry with. And I thought
Oh, that's interesting.
Jerry, and like I thought I was like, you can't have Colby without Jerry. But
Yeah,
then we
yeah,
get Colby. It's like, oh, he's probably going to be this older guy, this alpha dude who
yeah.
is like wants to be the leader. But I wasn't a huge fan of him, but I'm pleasantly surprised of like
Same.
how like I think like there are some people like Jenna who, spoiler alert, uh
Gets voted out.
gets
Yep.
voted out, and we'll get to more of like I think he's one that like not few, but like the people that I was surprised was able to adapt so quickly. And I
Yep.
think you made a good point. Like this is one that like it's good to see of like the old and new like actually trying to work together. Like Genevieve, Stephanie, who I'm not a huge fan of, but
Interesting.
with Genevieve and Colby, I think that is going to be really interesting. It sucks that they lost Kyle, but they have Q. But like, I am interested to see how those dynamics are going to work.
I think they've got a good mix of
Mm-hmm.
strategy and physical and
Yes.
social in that alliance, which I really
Mm-hmm.
like.
I meant to say
Um,
one more. Oh, sorry,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
sorry.
go for it.
There's one more like dynamic that was so sweet to see, and it was Rick Devens and Christian. Oh my
Yes,
gosh, it
yes.
was
What
just
a
two.
bromance.
It was just two nerdy buddies, and
Yeah.
I love the confession of like, yeah, my greatest secret is my son. I'm like,
Oh,
that was so
that murdered
sweet,
me, man.
and
Oh
like
my gosh.
I think like but it's also I love how like that tribe in particular,
Yeah,
that is like cut and dry old versus new alliances.
yeah.
But
So
yeah, sorry, you go.
I was gonna say let's talk about them because this is the tribe that went to tribal council.
Hmm.
They lost the challenge.
Yeah.
Uh, Cirie looked
Oh
miserable.
yes.
Um,
Well, she was
this
dog
is
water. She was awful.
this is Christian, Cirie, Emily, Jenna, Joe, Ozzy, Devins, and Savannah.
Okay.
Um, the Sela tribe.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on how this first tribal went?
Hmm.
Well, all the stuff, all the footage we got before
Yeah.
tribal, and then the vote going literally all on Jenna. Like,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that?
So this is what I meant to say earlier when it came to editing. This is where I had a little nitpick. They
Yeah,
kind of like
they led us
lied to us a
astray.
little bit. They
They
let us
did lie
astray.
to us. Yeah,
So the way that was portrayed is like Ozzy is really trying his best to be not just a comp beast, which I appreciate.
yeah, yeah,
Is he doing the best job? He's doing the best job that he can because
yeah, yeah.
he's never actually been a strategic player. I'm glad that
Right.
he aligned himself with Cirie, who's arguably the best person never to win the game, right?
Hmm.
And so I thought it was interesting that like Jenna was really trying to go for Cirie, where like yes, I get it. She's probably the biggest threat on that tribe, to be so truthful.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I think she just kind of just buried herself. But then I
But
think it's hard to
it
say.
sounded like they were
But,
ready to
but
go with her.
that's the thing. It's hard to tell because the editing was making it see it's either gonna be Cirie, and then at the last time it's like, oh, what if we go to Ozzy? And then that became
Right.
the whole
Yeah.
thing. It's like, so we're gonna get an old player out, and I kind of knew going into the season that I think an old school player was gonna go home first, just
First.
because
Yeah.
that's usually a trend of more
Yep.
like when Winners at War happened, like
Yeah.
all the first five people, actually not the first player, but like the four out of the five like first people voted out were all old school, and
Yep.
so like
Yep.
um, but yeah, I think we were misled because like you thought it was either gonna be Cirie, Ozzy
I mean,
and
Jenna
Jenna. And
was
I
out there, but it looked like it was gonna go Ozzy or Cirie.
Ozzy, yeah, because like,
Yeah.
and I thought like, oh, is Ozzy gonna play his like extra vote?
Right.
Uh, but then it was just a landslide against Jenna. I'm like, was there something we missed? And like, I was
Yeah.
very grateful that Jenna went home, and it sucked because I do like Cirie and Ozzy, but it sucked because um that like she hasn't played in like over 15 years. She
Right.
was on the very first season, and then she was
Yep.
right out the door.
First one out. I
Uh,
mean, you could tell she was chomping at the bit to get back out there. She's been
yeah,
watching Survivor and she's like she was too eager to show
yeah,
everyone that she can also play strategic and I think it went to bite her in the butt. I will
yeah.
say I there was only one part of the edit that made it seem like Jenna could get voted out. And this I want to point it out because this is the other mover and shaker in the game right now
Mhm.
that I want to point out in my opinion,
Mhm.
and that's Christian, because
Mhm.
Christian's talking with the people who want to vote Jenna
Yeah.
out, and he's like, "All I'm telling you is, like, if we do Ozzy or Cirie, someone's coming
Mhm.
back to the tribe upset. If
Yeah.
we vote Jenna, it's a clean vote. There's no mess to clean up afterwards." And that's how they voted. I don't know if
Yeah.
that was the advice that swayed
I don't
everyone, but when you look at I mean,
know.
I
Mhm.
noticed this watching it because I didn't have the tribes memorized coming in, but when
Mhm.
I saw Emily Flippin from the New
Mhm.
Era,
Mhm.
Christian and Rick Devens all on the same tribe, and
Which
then
is
they
so
all
sm
connect. That is a serious brain trust that I'd be very nervous about if I was the other people on that tribe.
Oh, well, I didn't like, they're wicked smart. Like,
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
are I think you're right, like, Christian is, like, such underrated, like, under the radar, because like, you think, "Oh, it's like," but he is, like, cooking up there. Like, he's
Yeah.
so smart, and you're right, I think
He's
well,
gonna have a huge target on his back
yes.
once we get deeper into the game because people know
Yeah.
how smart he is, but
Yes.
he was given like the Coach
I
Taylor
like
pep
him.
talks after the challenge,
100%.
you know? Like I really appreciated that
I
about him. You can tell he's thought about how can I be like more human and, not viewed as
yeah.
just this brainiac guy.
I definitely think like if they lose again, I think it's going to be that core three that you just mentioned of Emily, Rick, and Christian that could probably take over and get rid of like the stronger like because they're so smart. Like this is
Yeah.
like the smart tribe that should have been on like the brains versus bronze versus
Right. Right.
beauties because that tribe sucked. Um but I think another thing of like and let me just check the notes, but like was Savannah on the yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
Savannah's
really
on that
like
tribe.
Savannah. Like I really do like
Oh,
Savannah.
this is where we part ways. You keep
Okay.
going, keep going, keep going. I
Okay.
disagree with you, but it's okay.
I no it's okay, and it's fine. I like Savannah. I think
Yeah, yeah.
just because she gives me a very like how do I say this? Very arrogant vibe to her.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
not that like I'm waiting for her downfall.
yeah.
And but I do like how like she's just kind of going with everyone. I don't
No,
know. Like I
she is tied for the most female immunity wins. She was a
okay.
baller on her season. Like she
Mhm.
is a challenged beast.
Mhm.
She's gonna struggle because there were literally 9 days in between 49 and 50. So she does not
Well,
have the advantage all these other people have.
so I think I disagree in the sense of like I think she did have an advantage. The advantage is that no one knows how she plays. So yes,
That's true. That's
it
true.
is a you're right. It is a thing where it's like no one knows how she plays. I think it was a mistake telling
But
that she was
her game relies on physical strength. That's
yes,
to me where
I
she's at
agree. I
disadvantage.
think a big mistake that she did, in my personal opinion, and I know Rizzo could have said something, but I wouldn't tell people that I won
Yeah,
Survivor.
yeah,
If
same.
I was like, oh yeah, I was on Survivor, it's like obviously you had to make you can't like you have to just like you obviously got called back for a reason. I'm like, oh yeah, I made it to like fire making. I got
Right,
four
right,
like
yeah.
I made it like I came in second or like I was just
Yeah.
something. But like why would you
To
tell them
outright
that?
say you won, yeah,
Yeah.
like, and you could tell the reaction when she said it
Yeah.
too was like, "Ah, okay, alright, so now we know."
Yeah.
Like, no one else on that tribe is gonna look at her with any sort of pity or
No.
like, "I wanna work with you." She doesn't know
Yeah.
anyone there. I I think she's in trouble at some point
I
on that tribe,
I agree, but I think if they lose again,
but
they're
she has the
probably gonna go.
advantage.
She does have the advantage, but I also think they're probably gonna go for Cirie or Ozzy, unfortunately, because they're at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
they are,
if
you're right. You're
but
right.
if there's anyone who I think can get out of the bottom is Cirie, and
That's true. Yeah.
Ozzy has two advantages. He has
Yep.
two freaking advantages.
So you've mentioned this a little bit right now. Uh, I want to talk about the edits. Obviously the edit of that before that tribal
Mm,
council was a little misleading. You
yeah,
have some stats on
I
the
do.
number of confessionals people got. So
Yeah,
who's winning the edit right now? And
yeah,
two
yeah.
questions. Like who's winning the edit, and then who do you think they are like trying to hint at us is going to be here for the long haul?
Yeah, so first off, like I am a big analysis guy. I
Yeah.
love sorry, Ooh, I don't know what that was. A little analysis. I love doing research on this type of stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so I have some thought on like what's going to happen. So to answer your question, the person who is basically the main character of this episode was 100% Ozzy. I don't think that's
Yep.
he was kind of integrated in like he was mentioned like every like 10 minutes. He was
Yep.
in that thing, so he got 19 confessionals. Which
That's so many.
I also have a stat for you if I can
Uh huh.
find it. Uh, so Ozzy's 19 confessional ranks as the second highest single episode total ever,
Oh my
only
gosh.
behind Size 21 in the 2 hour premiere of
Yeah,
season
because this is
48.
a we're talking about there's 24 people. So he
Yeah,
got the second most ever while there were still 24 other
yeah.
people on the
And
island.
guess
That's
and so
crazy.
the second most two was Savannah and Q, and they had 9. He had 10
10
more
less.
than
10.
second.
Oh my gosh.
It's
That's wild.
crazy.
That's
And
wild.
then and then the I know I'm going to answer your second question, but then the people who had the least
Yep.
were Dee and Savannah with
D and Tiff, I think.
sorry, you're right, Dee and Tiffany with 1 each, which is insane. The fact
Yeah,
that
that's
it's a
wild. They
winner,
only got
D.
one. D
Well,
is yeah, D1.
yeah, D's
Yeah.
crazy. And so, can you remind me of what your second question was? It is
Like who like if you had to suss out based on the edit,
yeah,
part of the edit is to tell a story.
yes,
It's not to tell
yes,
us who is going to win necessarily. It's to
yes,
tell like, hey, Ozzy's important right now because he's
yep,
got this advantage.
yep,
But if you had to like dig through all the noise and see
mhm,
like who are they based on the edit
yep,
telling us is going to be here in the final three, maybe
yep.
who is there anyone that's on your radar in
Yes,
terms of
I have a couple people. I
okay,
think one is Ozzy because
really
he was
okay,
in the sense he was the narrator of this episode,
yeah, yeah,
and so
yeah,
and also especially in the newer seasons, you have to remember that a lot the people and it's happened I think every single season where the winner always gets like a sob story, not a sob story, but like that
yeah, yeah.
little mention. And
They get their
Ozzy did
story.
get his in this episode.
That's true.
Um,
You're right.
and so another person who is one of your favorites, I think, and one of my favorites, I think there's there's a reason why they mentioned that little conversation between Aubrey and Genevieve because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think something's
Mhm.
gonna happen there. I
Yeah,
really do.
that's a good point.
And
I like
then
that.
this might be a crazy one, and this might be a weird pick. I think Joe is going to stick around for a
Really?
while. I think so. Here's why. I think I don't think is going to win, but I
Yeah,
do think he's going to be maybe like the goat type of
yeah,
situation
yeah,
where he's going to be brought. Um, and I also it's crazy because there's a lot of players I think, but I think my top would definitely be Genevieve. I think
yeah,
Aubrey.
yeah, yeah.
I do think Cirie a little bit, but then am I crazy to say Christian?
No,
Because
no, I don't
I
think so.
think like they're mentioning him
They also
here.
gave his story with his son.
They gave him story with his son. I'm like, you have to remember like this is the new era is different from the old because now we're not doing heroes or a villain. Like
Right, right.
they want to build on the real characters and stuff like that.
Yep.
And so if you get that, there's a good chance you're staying around for. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
back to Ozzy, like I think he either is going to be make it really far
yep.
or he is just has a lot of screen time right now because he just has a huge thing. And a part of me why I think it is Genevieve and not Ozzy, and why I think Genevieve is rated higher for me than Ozzy is because I think Ozzy is. I think they're foreshadowing that Ozzy's going to get voted out, and that's going to all the way go back to
Loop
Genevieve.
back to Genevieve. Oh,
Yeah,
great call,
yeah,
man. Look at you.
oh yeah,
You're a master of the
oh
game.
yeah.
You know how
And
to
then
study this.
so I have a question for you.
I think that is a great prediction. Yeah, go for it.
So based on like that information and stuff like that, who do
Yeah.
you think 2 questions. Who you think is get? Do you think is like getting the winner edit right now? I know it's hard to say. Who you think is sorry? Who you think is going to get the winner edit? And also, who do you think is going to go home early based on like right
Mm.
now that you think would have like
Like not next episode, but just like
but
maybe pre-merge.
who do you think is like they're hyping up but then is going to have a huge downfall, maybe.
I mean, I think that person could be Ozzy or
Ozzy,
Cirie.
yes.
Ozzy or Cirie. I think either one of
Mhm.
them. Um, I'll throw. Oh man, I'm torn between a couple people. But I think I'm gonna say winner edit. I'm gonna say Kobe.
Ooh, interesting. Tell me why.
Well, I think he got a lot. In my opinion, he got a lot of screen time. I don't know what.
More than you thought he was going to get?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know he's a star of
Mhm.
the old era, and obviously,
Mhm.
like this. The other thing I think I'm trying to keep in mind is that this episode isn't like other premieres. This
Mhm.
episode, Survivor has to like convince the audience to hang around. And so they
Mhm.
know that there's probably people watching who haven't watched like any of the new era
That's
because
true.
they know Colby's back, you know? And so
Mhm.
they have to give that segment of the audience their old school people as
Mhm.
much as they can. I I basically I like the longevity of Kobe's game because who he's aligned with Stephanie and with
Mhm.
Genevieve. And I think you can to me, I just felt like his approach to the game isn't he's in his 50s. So he knows he's not gonna rely on his physical strength to
Which
win him the
I'm
game.
glad. I'm glad he understands that now.
And to me, he was playing a much like a very good social game. Like he was making connections with Rizzo, someone who he
Mhm.
thought was so
My
annoying,
gosh. I love that.
and then making connections. I thought him making a connection with
Mhm.
Savannah at the end of their challenge was
Mhm.
another little relationship that he could have working for him in the long run. I feel like Kobe was a threat in his years playing Survivor because he was a physical threat. And I think him
Mhm.
being able to play more of a social game works in his favor.
No, I agree with that. I think it is like he's definitely like came around a little bit. I think the one thing stopping him is just going to be his if
His
he's going to
status,
go back
probably.
to his old status, but also going back to his old ways of if
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
only focused on like that type of mentality and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. Who? So this is a question I added
Hmm.
because we're talking about old people, old players.
Hmm.
Um, who needs this the most? Like this is a very first take question, but
Yeah.
like who needs this the most for their Survivor legacy? Um,
Ooh, I like that question.
because Cirie, you know,
I don't.
she's
Yeah.
been on 5 times. She just won Traitors. She came in
Yep.
fourth on Survivor Australia. Like she's
And
a reality TV
she also
icon.
came in sixth on Big Brother.
That's right. I forgot about the Big
Hmm.
Brother. So you've got someone like her who's been on the show 5 times. You've got someone like Savannah who just
Hmm.
won and has only been on once.
Hmm.
There's a wide range, and I just think when you talk about the Survivor greats, like you see, I see Jeff get asked a lot of times, like, who's on your Survivor Mount Rushmore, and it's always old era people. Like I don't think a new era person ever really comes up in this conversation. So there's
Yeah.
like an opportunity for new era people to submit themselves, and then there's
Yeah.
an opportunity for some of these older era people to submit themselves as like the
Yeah.
Survivor goat. I feel like
Oh, 100%. I think so. I don't think if Cherie wins or loses this, I don't think this is going to affect her legacy a whole lot. To be so
I don't
truthful
think
with
so
you,
either. Yeah,
it's.
yeah,
I think she either stays the same or goes as the best player of all time, in
yeah,
my personal opinion.
yeah,
Um, like she should have won 2 seasons. Like
yeah.
I think another person who I think would really like vamp their legacy would be where are you? Just looking for them. I think it would be where are you? Where are you? I'm not good at reading.
That's okay.
Um um
Oh, are you talking
okay,
older or new era person?
both. Like there's two people. There's two people. Okay, I think even though I don't like her, I
Uh
think
huh.
Stephanie, if she won, I think
Mm.
they could revamp her legacy because I don't know if you see her seasons, but
Well no I watched her in Heroes vs Villains.
like she is kind of washed, and so this would like
Yeah.
make it like oh I'm still here type of thing. But then part of me also wants to say D because to your point
Yeah.
of like, I think she is a top probably two winner of the new era.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if she wins this and her second time playing,
Yeah.
she will go down as one of only three people to win. And I can see her being super dominant.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, for sure. This would absolutely vault her to like elite survivor status.
mhm.
I, I, I mean, for her and for Savannah, in my opinion,
Yeah,
if you win both Survivor seasons that
yeah,
you've ever appeared on, like that just immediately puts you in, and
mhm.
especially for Savannah, if she were to somehow win 49,
Yeah,
spend 9 days off, come back and win 50 against all of these
mhm.
greats, like that would
Mhm.
be crazy.
There's another
Um,
person of like, do you know we haven't talked about Christy a lot? Christy, and
yeah,
I'm like, I
yeah,
think she's very underrated. But
yep,
I have a question for you.
yep.
Really quick question. Who do you think if they won, people will still say like, oh, the other person deserved to win? Like would go like a Michelle, or so like a Michelle when she won her season, everyone's like, oh, Aubrey should have won. Like
Okay,
like
yeah. Are
you
you
didn't
saying like
win.
who would? Are you asking me to like predict who that would be in this
Or like
season?
who
Like
do
a
you think like I think just who do you think say they won the season
yeah, yeah,
and people will already have conversations like, oh, they didn't win, like that just
yeah.
blank
I
lost.
I think the danger in this format of the game is going to be someone who just stacks a bunch of advantages.
Mhm.
Um, I could see. I mean, right now Ozzy's got two of them, right? So like, uh, I don't. I guess I don't have a person, but I would
Mhm.
say it happened. We mentioned her name earlier, but it happened with Rachel in season 47. If you ride a bunch of idols and advantages to the final three, it
Mhm.
doesn't look as like historically. It doesn't look as impressive as some of these other winners who really had to like fight and claw their way to the end.
Mhm.
And there's so many advantages in this game that like there's a chance someone could stack three three advantages, a steal a vote, a block a vote, and an idol, and
Mhm.
then use them all strategically to get to the end. And I
Yeah.
think if that happens, we're gonna look back and be like, well, they won 50, but did they really? Like I don't know.
No, that's fair. I feel like I think of like Ben from like Chrissy seasons of like should he actually won because he got handed so many idols or like type of thing. So like I
Yeah,
to your point of like I think might if you use so many advantages that can be seen as a disadvantage because like oh you couldn't use like your actually strategy and stuff like that you had to use these things. Yeah, I mean you can make like good moves with like the
yeah,
advantages and stuff like that. I've seen time and time again. But like to your point of like if you just stack on stack on stack, it's kind of like I don't know.
I agree. Speaking of advantages, I want to recap at the end of episode 1. I want to recap where all the idols and advantages stand. So
Mhm.
Ozzy, he's got the boomerang idol, which he
Mhm.
can use only on himself all the way up until the
Yes.
final 5. And if he's
Mhm.
voted out, it goes back to Genevieve.
Yeah, but he doesn't know it's a boomerang idol.
No, he doesn't know that. You're
He
right.
doesn't
He
know
does
that.
not know that.
Yeah.
He also has an extra vote.
Mhm.
Savannah has a block a vote.
Mhm.
And then Q does not have a vote at his next tribal.
Mhm.
Neither does Colby.
Which sucks because they're in the same alliance.
They are. They are.
Mhm.
So like do we see any of do we see any advantages getting played next episode, or do we see like one Q or Colby leave us because they don't have a vote?
I think it's probably the latter. I think it's probably going to be where I don't think any advantages are going to be seen or going to be seen at least in the next episode. But I can see where something happens and just Q being Q, unfortunately,
Yeah,
because I love
yeah, yep.
Q, but doing something because I think if and I could have and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was smart for Colby to say that he lost his vote, but I don't think Q did.
Yep.
And so I think that in a weird way might gain trust with
Yeah,
Colby if he is like
yeah,
being and like and then it's coming off sneaky when it comes to Q because he can admit to it, like, oh yeah, I did. And so I think we're more likely going to see like the disadvantages being like more effective than like
Yeah.
the immunity. Um, yeah, I don't know what your opinions on it. I think like
Yeah,
yeah,
I get worried about the um two people in maybe the same alliance not having a vote.
yeah,
I want to look at the other thing we didn't talk about is Kyle getting escorted off the island at the end
mhm.
of the game. It's really not much to debate. It's just like it sucks.
It sucks
Um,
because like he was truly in a great place. He was
I
in a
he
great.
was he was doing great.
Everybody wanted to work with him. He
Yep.
was. It sucked, and it
He
sucked because
fought
he was.
through the challenge and they
Yes.
they avoided tribal council because of it. I
Ugh.
mean, it's like for him, he just won like a year ago, I think.
Yeah,
So
and he just
he's got
got
he's got $1 million.
married.
He's got $1 million. He's getting
Yeah,
married, he's
and
got a baby
he's got a
on the way.
baby, but it does suck because like he was one of the strongest people on that team.
Yeah.
Like
No, I think it's gonna have an impact on
one
that
hundred
that
percent.
alliance's game. So when you look at the the tribes, Sela went to tribal
Mhm.
at the end of, during this episode,
Mhm.
and Jenna gets voted home. So now they've got Christian, Cirie, Emily, Joe, Ozzy,
Mhm.
Devins, and Savannah. You've got Vatu losing Kyle. So they are down to 7 with Angelina, Aubrey, Colby, Genevieve, Q, Rizzo, and Stephanie. And
Mhm.
then you've got Kahlo, who is the only tribe left with everybody that they started with. And
Mhm.
that's the one that has more the new era people: Charlie, Chrissy, Coach D, Jonathan, Camilla, Mike White, and Tiff. Uh, if you had to guess who's going to tribal next,
I think the safest bet would be is it Sela?
Sela, yeah, yeah,
Sela, but I see it. I would say Kylo, but they have Jonathan, and he's never
yeah.
gonna lose.
I don't. They may not lose a tribal till they get to the merge like that. That
Yeah,
they have Jonathan and D.
that's true. Well, I think a big like repetition or a big like pattern for New Era is that there's always one tribe that just suffers, and
Yep,
so unfortunately, I think it might be Sela
I
because
know.
they have Joe and Ozzy, but and no offense, if we're just looking at the challenge standpoint, if it's not a
Yeah,
puzzle,
yeah.
it's we have like and given like Savannah's really good at challenges,
Oh
like
yeah,
Devin showed that he can do it, but I think just from like I think just the other two, even if you take away a Kyle from Vatu, I think it's still pretty strong. And I do
right.
think because they lost someone, I think it's just I don't think and that's I wish they just would do two tries. That's just
That's how I
me.
feel too,
But
man. That's how I
I
feel
think
too.
they're just gonna keep I think unfortunately I think they're gonna Seala's gonna go down or I could see Vatu losing. I just don't see
But there's not really like a weak link on these other two tribes. And when you look at Sela, clearly Cirie, given what happened, could be seen as a weak link.
well she is
Uh,
probably the yeah.
and then you just like you don't have. I mean, you have Joe and Savannah. The rest of these people, none of them
Mhm.
are like known for winning challenges.
Mhm.
Unless it's like an endurance challenge. So,
Mhm.
um, I would agree with you. I think Seal is going to go to tribal next. Um,
But I think also it's like to your point of like Suri. I think Suri is probably the worst at challenges to be to be so truthful. But
yeah,
she's probably the best strategic player there.
yeah,
But I think everyone knew that she's going to be the weakest link, and she knows that. Unfortunately,
she
and
does. Yeah, and she's 55. I mean,
she
like
is
it's not.
55.
Yeah, it's not like these other. I mean, Ozzy again. He threw his back out, flinging wooden sticks at a ring. So
Yes.
I
Well,
just
he
think
did swim. Okay,
I just look these older players. You just gotta watch them. Like something's gonna happen to each of them by the end of the
that's
season.
true.
All right. I think uh the last thing really I wanted to do.
Hmm.
Haley and I do this every. I don't know what hers are yet. We actually need to
Hmm.
like lock ours in together. But every season we've been watching Survivor together.
Hmm.
It's tradition for us after the first episode we predict a final three.
Have you ever gotten it right?
I've gotten me and Haley both. I think I've gotten 2/3 right before.
Okay.
I want to say it was 48 when Kyle won. I think we both
Mhm.
had Kyle and Eva maybe in the final three,
Mhm.
or Joe and Eva, one of the two. Last season I was horrifically wrong. Like, it was bad. I
Oof.
can't remember. I'd have to actually let me
I
see.
don't. I don't know. I don't know a lot of the players, but I'm excited to see what you have to say.
I'm wondering if I could find it. I always put it in my notes app, but um did I pick? Yeah, all right. Who did I pick last season? I picked Alex, who was
Who's that?
voted out early in the post merge.
Okay.
I did pick Savannah. Savannah did go on to win, and
That's
then I
good.
picked Shannon, who was voted out pre-merge. So it was rough.
So you
And
got a
then
huge win, and then you got the two.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Haley did the same. She also had Savannah, and then she had two duds.
Mm.
But um, yeah, always literally it's just like, can you glean anything from the edit in the first episode that tells
Mm.
you, oh, I think we saw the winner, or I think we saw the
Mhm.
final three? So do you have a final three you're willing to predict? If you
I
don't, I
have a.
can go first.
I think I have a winner pick, but I'll let you go
Okay,
first.
all right, final three. If I think too long about it, I'm gonna make a mistake. So
Just go for it.
uh we're going Christian,
Mhm.
Genevieve,
Okay.
Colby.
Okay. I don't mind it. I don't
Yeah,
mind it.
I feel like there's a strong chance Kobe could go home soon with the
I
not
do.
having his vote,
I do
but
too.
they showed us a lot of that Colby Genevieve Stephanie alliance,
Mhm.
and they gave us the little, the emotional story
Mhm.
of Christian and his son. So I feel pretty good about at least two of those being right.
Okay.
I think two of those could be right.
So I think I have three completely different people.
Okay, great.
So my winner pick, I'll just
Uh
say
huh.
it. I think, and if I'm right,
Yeah.
we play this. Okay.
Okay. All
I
right. All
think
right.
I think Aubrey's winning. I think
You think
Aubrey.
Aubrey is winning?
I think Aubrey's winning. I think they once again they mentioned that rivalry for a reason, but I don't think
Uh-huh.
Genevieve's
Yeah.
going to come on top. I do like Genevieve. I do think
Interesting.
Aubrey's going to win.
Interesting.
I don't know why, but I just see Joe being there. No, I don't think he does
You
anything.
don't have like one example of one reason to give?
No, I don't. I think why is because he is just like from his season with Eva. He's just very loyal. I think he's gonna
Yep.
stay loyal to someone, and there's obviously gonna be like a tribe swap
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I think he's gonna. I could see him working with Aubrey or the other person. I think
But he's connected with Savannah early on, which that could be good
that's
for him.
true. I okay, maybe it's crazy. I can see Cirie being there too. So I think Aubrey, I
Is
think
that your final
Joe.
three?
I think it's a weird final three. I think it's
Aubrey,
Aubrey,
Joe,
Joe, Cirie.
Kareem.
Because once again, I think like I don't think now because I are they all in different tribes? They might be.
Let's see. Suri and Joe are in the same tribe. And
Okay,
actually, Zachary, they did connect early in the episode. They're
that's
like,
right.
Suri was getting emotional just about like her
Yeah,
life changed because of
yeah.
Survivor, and I think her and Joe kind of connected on that.
Like I can. Joe is just such a is just a golden retriever because I know he's a firefighter. He's a golden retriever that fights fire, and he is just a really nice guy.
Who
And I can
doesn't
just
want to play the game of Survivor because
that
it's too hard.
that's why I think he's gonna like bring to the end, and I
Yeah,
think it'll
yeah.
be
Some maybe
between.
Suri smart enough to do that. So
That's what I'm
maybe.
saying. I think that, but for some reason, like Aubrey is just she should
Yeah,
have
you
won
might
her
be right there.
season.
I gotta give it to you. That might be a correct pick on your part.
But if I had to like say
Yeah,
my
what's your
dream
dream? What's your
three,
dream
and I want to hear
scenario?
yours, my
All right,
dream
all right.
my dream scenario: Q, Coach, and then Angelina.
Oh,
Dude,
dude, that would
imagine
be it.
it's like
Oh, that would be
you
electric.
just see it's like Angelina just goes of like guys, will these people here I climbed a ladder that like was just so
So
high,
high.
and it just reminded me of my relationship with my dad because it just gets so emotional.
I I love if Q somehow made it to the final three,
He
Zachary.
deserves
I will
it.
say I gotta give him props. I thought he did really well this first
Well,
episode.
this is how he started
He
his first season.
he's kind
Like he
of
started pretty
buried the
good.
villain hatchet, it feels like.
I but the issue is like in his first season he started off really strong. Like
He
he was
did,
really good.
yeah.
Then he went to Applebee's and everything turned south. And
Oh,
so who
such a
would
good
your
moment.
dream? I know we're ending it soon, but who would your dream three? Not the people that you
Yeah,
think is
yeah,
gonna
just
be
who
there.
like just vibes.
The best, like the either it's the best three, the most chaotic. Who your dream three.
So one, I honestly like who I think is deserving of
Hmm.
having a shot to win, who didn't in her season. Um, but honestly, she deserves like co-ownership of the title to Survivor is Camilla. Um,
Yeah,
she got Kyle there, and
100%.
unfortunately didn't get to like argue her way
Yes.
for the title of Sole Survivor. So
Mm.
I want to see Camilla make it. Unfortunately, she didn't get a lot of screen time this episode, so I don't feel
No.
good about her making it
Yeah.
far. But I would love to see her there. And
Mm.
then just like people that I really enjoy watching, Angelina,
Oh yeah.
and
What a.
then my boy the Rizgod. Put my boy Rizgod in
Is
the
he?
final three.
I haven't seen the season. Like, is he actually like a great
He's a
watch?
smart player. And he's hilarious. He's very entertaining. I mean, it's partly because like he's so Gen Z, and
Oh, 100%.
there just haven't been a ton of Gen Z players on Survivor yet, and so I
He's
just
very Gen Z.
I love the distinction there.
Is his real name Rizzo?
It's I don't think his full name is
Watch
Rizzo.
it be like,
He's
oh yeah, my name is Jonathan, or like something just
no, no,
very
no.
like,
It's I think Rizzo's short for something. He's Albanian, but um
oh.
he I don't think he would get there because I'm telling you, there's no way you're coming off of 49, 2 weeks or less of
Hmm.
rest, and then going on another 27-day journey and winning or something like that. Especially Rizzo, he's so skinny and he's so emotional about his family. He's gonna be a puddle at some point in the season. But I mean, he's also I thought he played a very smart game in 49
Hmm.
and unfortunately um couldn't make a fire.
Well,
But
wasn't it because like didn't he like hold on to an idol for too long, and that's also why people were like
yeah, but
he
he didn't
probably
have
will
to
win?
use it.
That's true.
He was never voted out. I don't think he ever played the idol or he played it the very last chance that he got.
Hmm.
So
That's why
yeah,
I hate the
Riz God,
feminism. Mm.
Riz God, Angelina, Camilla would be an amazing final three in my opinion.
And spoiler alert, it happens. Like it shows
That
through.
would
It's
be
crazy.
crazy. That would be crazy.
And also, at the like Jeff Probst quit, and like they need a big replacement. Q fills in. Dude, that'd be sick. Q is the next host.
Did you like the Q skirt coming back out in this episode?
Ooh, of course I did. I'm just
Yeah.
ready for like his. I hope they play like Red Rover, and it's like, so when you play Red Rover, I already know their strategy. When he says come over, he's basically saying come over to give me your immunity idols. I know he's a snake. Like just
Oh my gosh. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it for this episode. I feel like we covered all the bases here, right? Like anything we forget? I don't think so. I think
I'm
we
just trying
covered
to
it
think of
all.
any I'm trying to get any contestants who can just say their names so they're mentioned that we may have forgotten.
Uh
Um,
yeah, actually that's a good point. Mike White has a six pack.
okay,
Just
so
just gotta throw that out there.
crazy. Dude, he directs one Emmy award winning show, and now you think you're all that.
um we did not mention Tiff, we didn't really mention. She didn't have a ton of
Yeah.
camera time. Jonathan, we didn't mention a lot, but I
No.
like the way he's playing so far.
John.
I mean, he's not my favorite. I just thought he was changing
Yeah.
it up
I
a
like
little
his
bit.
pants. His pants are cool.
I like the pants too.
Yeah, good for
Charlie,
him.
you mentioned didn't get a lot of screen time, but
I like Charlie a
I would
lot
he's
too.
someone who I would also like seeing in the end
Mm-hmm.
just as a person. I think everyone else we've talked about here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure we've talked about everyone else.
Oh, we forgot to mention
Who?
what? So who? Why do you like? There's one reason why the show's still around. Okay, this
Yeah,
guy right here. We didn't mention of Jeff Probst. What did you think of him? Because I know
his
we have to end
you
it
want us to
soon.
grade Jeff's
No, no,
performance?
no. But here's my thing. Because between me and Josh, my
Oh
dad
yeah.
loves Survivor. His least favorite thing is Jeff Probst about
Yeah,
the
he
show.
can't stand him.
But like, what? Like, yeah, if you had to give his a performance, I also love that when he just my favorite scene of this whole episode was Cirie was struggling, and then he just
Yeah.
goes in, Cirie, you have to dig, just looking at her soul, like obviously I'm trying.
Hurry up, Suri.
Hurry
Yeah,
up!
that
Like,
was good. That was a good moment. I give Jeff a I don't know I give him an A for this episode actually because he did have to handle the Kyle situation and that was tough. I
that's
watched an
true.
interview with Kyle today that said they didn't show it. There was like 15 minutes of him and Jeff arguing back and forth
Oh, really?
before the doctor did the like last test because Kyle's a lawyer now, and he was like, hey, like I know what I signed, like I could take you guys to court, blah blah blah.
Oh, really?
He said the right decision was made that he's not really going to do that or anything, but
Mm.
he was upset. He wanted to stay in the game. Um, so yeah,
But Jeff,
I
yeah.
give Jeff an A. That's a tough thing to handle in a returner
Mm.
coming back tearing his Achilles essentially. Like
And a
you gotta
winner too.
a
Like,
winner, yeah,
yeah.
exactly, and still hold like it wasn't a clear cut like oh he broke his foot we have to
Mm.
send him home. It was kind of like gray area. So yeah,
Mm.
I give him an A for it. What would you give him, Zachary?
I think just the sole fact that he remembers 24 names, I think an A plus. Like I would struggle
Your
so
bar
hard
is
with
too
that.
low, my friend. I know he's in his 60s, but he's not that old.
Okay, but still, that's a lot, man. I think like once again, I think I'm just a Jeff lover, but goodness gracious, like this show would not be the same without him because like he is
Yeah,
also like fun fun little clip about him. He was the first ever. He was the inaugural
yeah,
not first ever person to win the Emmy for outstanding reality TV show host, and he won it 4 times in a row
that's
for the
right.
first
That's right.
four.
Hey, he probably is the best reality TV host. So, got
Can
to
you
give
say
him
that
props for
again for
that.
the people in the back?
I that's okay. I'm good.
Yeah, he did handle
Although
the.
Alan Cumming is right there now.
If he was on Survivor's ready. You either I don't know what he would say. Are
You're,
you faithful?
the-
Okay.
oh man. Well, Zachary, thank you for coming through today. This was truly I've been wanting to do a Survivor podcast for a very long time. So thank you for making my dreams come true.
No, I'm happy to be on, and I'm excited to be on the next episode too. When we're actually, fun fact, the Stinger is turning into the Buff, where we are only talking about Survivor, baby. We're doing each episode. We'll get Jeff on the pod. We'll do a great. We'll reach out to all the Survivor faniacs.
All
Um,
right.
I
Faniac.
know we actually have Jenna, the first babe,
Oh
coming
yeah,
on
she's
next
coming
week.
on too. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. She can't wait to join.
she can't wait.
Um,
Yeah, we haven't heard back from her yet, but she's so excited.
we know she's excited.
She's excited. She told me.
If you like this episode, give us a like, give us a subscribe wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube. You can follow us at the Stinger Pod on Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube. And stay tuned. We've got more content coming. If you like the Survivor content, we can do more of it. So let us know in the comments what you thought. As always, thank you for listening, and we will be back soon.